Well, we could talk about German Schlager legend Ralphie Dominguez, but let's talk song. I'm very happy to be back from my amazing holidays. There is 3 songs left in the amazing album Mayhem by Lady Gaga. Today I'm going to look at Shadow of a Man. I'm going to find songwriting learnings. So without further ado, let's get going. Step 1, find key. Bum, bum. F minor, I believe. Can be confirmed. Step 2, find the chord progression. Really cool chromatic movements. So what we have here is something with F minor to E flat major to, I believe, B flat with D and bass, creating this cool modulation because the chord of B flat is normally not in the key of F major or A flat major. And then we either go to some kind of B flat minor or D flat major. I'm not 100% sure with that. So in terms of chord scale degrees, we would have 6 minor to 5, then a quick modulation to 2 major chord, so Foo Fighters chord, and then we go either to 2 minor or to the 4 chord. There is a melody hook playing already in the background. The lyrics say here, and I'm looking at the Apple Music lyrics, Shadado, Shadado, oh, Shadado, Shadado, oh of a man, but I'm not really sure if she sings that. Yes, she does. Shadado! Something like this. Okay, so a really nice hook that I believe is going to remain important in the course of the song. Okay, so while the chords are doing those crazy modulations with the 2 major and stuff, the melody is relatively simple and traditional, spanning only a fifth, and basically playing the first 5 notes of the F minor scale. Standing in the shadow of another man, lonely as the streets pass me by. Alright, so the chords remain the same with a very, very strong bass thing that outlines this chromatic movement quite nicely from E flat over D to D flat. The melody does this here. Standing in the shadow of another man. I think it's only the melody. Standing in the shadow of another man. Really simple. Right? And doing root notes of the chords only. Lonely as the streets pass me by. Really cool that they would sing. Remember that we had this B flat with D and bass, so the melody note is D, making this weird, but cool. Really, really nice. Also, what a cool lyric line. Lonely as the streets pass me by. Very philosophical there. Life ain't under pressure 'cause I got a plan. Very, very similar to the first line, creating this beautiful A-B pattern, both in terms of phrase development and rhyming. Staring at myself in the eye. Not changing anything, right? So the melody does the same thing in the second half of the verse, then in the first half, and the lyrics change so that they create this beautiful rhyming pattern. When I get this feeling, first thing that we notice is that we jump from one section to the other. Why do we notice that? Because the melody starts after the downbeat. So the melody beginning in the verse was very, very clear. Standing in the shadow. right? On the downbeat. And here we kind of leave a breath before we start. Just an eighth note, but very powerful. When I get this feeling. When I get this feeling, I can't get enough. 'Cause I stop. Chords are exactly the same. The melody is totally different. When I get this feeling, I can't get enough. 'Cause I stop believing and my voice gets low. The line starts with the same note material, which is this here. Right? But the movements are totally different, really creating beautiful contrast. When I get this feeling. So it's basically two tiny lines, right? It's this tiny line, and this gets answered by, and then this one repeats. Really nice percussive singing there with this, 'cause I start believing, with this basically a 16th note melody. And we've seen this quite often, that the melody that uses different phrases answering each other sometimes have very, very quick passages and sometimes have very, very long notes, right? And here we alternate between a 16th melody, very, very quick notes, and very long notes, quarter notes basically. Repeat this pre-chorus feel. The fifth of the F minor scale creates tension. It's not that strong tension that we would have in a major scale, but it's still a tension note. And interesting melody phrase arrangement in this pre-chorus thing, because we have three types of things. This comes three times, right? Same thing, but with melodic variation. Then we've got, and then we've got something totally different. I'm trying to play blue notes, but I don't know which ones. It's a flat C of sorts. So it's just that thing here. Really, really simple, but with those bluesy in-between notes, really, really cool. And landing on that C creates beautiful tension to what I suppose is going to be the chorus. Woo! Same thing here, right? Alternating phrases, one super quick, one really dramatic and long notes. So we've got, and I believe that the chords are still the same. No, they are totally different. 4, 5, 6 minor, D flat, E flat, F minor. Super, super simple, super, super effective. Really, really interesting chorus. So, new chords with this building thing, 4, 5, 6 minor, really dancey, and I believe there is other songs in this album. It's been a while, but I believe there's other songs in this album that use this progression here. Really, really beautiful melodic development. Right, so those 16th that we already know from the pre-chorus come back with this. I don't want to fade into the darkness tonight, answered by show me the light. And then we've got another quick thing. Really, really cool. I don't want to be the one to fall on the knife. This is very, very beautiful and gifted lyric writing. And those almost ad-lib answers to kill my life freshen things up a little bit. And the second half of the chorus is really, really weird. So the chords stay the same. It's still this 4, 5, 6 minor progression. We also keep the 16th feel, but we miss the answer to that. So we have got this "I'm about to be there" that just gets repeated. And a really weirdly Lady Gaga-esque phrased title of the song with "Dance in the shadow, dance in the shadow of a man, dance in the shadow of a man." So again, a fifth thing. Going back from this C that has dominant function to the home F minor. Staying on this C for a very long time. And then we've got as the resolution. Really, really beautifully written. The lyrical phrasing is weird because it's standing in, dance in the shadow of a man. Okay, all syllables get the same stress, which is not the way you would say the word. So it would be pretty clear stress on the shadow, but it's where all syllables get kind of the same stress.
Hard to be the yellow in a purple sky, peeking through the eye of the storm.
Same thing from verse number 1. New lyrics.
Gotta be the truth or you'll become a lie, piercing like your skin from a thorn.
Tiny, tiny variation in the melody, lifting us a little bit to the pre-chorus.
Piercing like your skin from a thorn.
Thorn! Something that she did not do in verse number 1.
When I get this feeling, I can't get enough.
Beautiful hooks, right? It comes back second time around. Everybody knows it. Everybody enjoys it.
I won't be used for my love and left out to cry.
And a tiny melodic variation again with this cry. But that again leaves us hanging and wanting to move to chorus number 2.
I don't wanna fade into the darkness tonight. Show me the light.
Let's focus on harmonic rhythm for a second because it's really, really cool. To anticipate this F minor. Every time we hear the F minor, we anticipate the chord and the melody follows that.
I don't wanna fade into the darkness tonight.
Right? I don't want to down. Right? So the third chord comes earlier, really rushing everything.
Dance in the shadow of a man.
Really, really cool line.
Shadado, shadado.
And Shadado, it reminds me of something, but I don't know what. New hook, the thing that we know from the intro, that I knew would come back, is now the post-chorus hook. It resonates a little bit with In the Shallow, right? Where she does things with the syllables as well, kind of using those two shallow, shadow syllables as a percussive element to her singing.
Can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still pretend. Can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still.
Chords we know from the verse, so it's that 6 minor, 5, 2 major, 4 progression, but with a new thing in the melody.
Can't ignore the voice within, and
I know what they're doing here. So they introduce something that sounds a little bit like the pre-chorus in that it starts on the 8th after the downbeat, but they leave out the dramatic answer, right? So they stick to that percussive 16th thing. The line is, can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still pretend, right? And now they harmonize this like crazy. So they start with one melody.
can't ignore the.
Super simple, right? It's 2 notes only, G to F.
Can't ignore the voice within.
And now we start building things. Can't ignore! Suddenly we build the third on top. So there is a harmony that says...
And a woman can't lose, but you still pretend.
And now we bring in a third one
Can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still pretend.
that I can't really make out.
Can't ignore the voice within, and a woman can't lose, but you still pretend.
because it's also a bit lower in the mix.
Can't ignore the voice within.
What would I do? I would probably do weird stuff, but maybe it's something like this, right? Where they basically have chords in the harmony vocals as well.
Can't ignore the voice within. And a woman
I don't hear this E flat.
can't ignore the voice within. And a woman can't lose, but you still pretend.
I want to hear it because I find it really cool. Something is happening there. Maybe they've got different layers, and maybe they even add more things in this third line, but they definitely build harmonic complexity as they go along. Something really cool for a bridge.
'Cause I won't be used for my love and left out to cry. I don't wanna fade into the darkness tonight. Shadado, Shadado.
Beautiful guitars, beautiful guitars. And again, this importance of the outro, right? Really highlighting the solo guitar. This is something that stuck with me with the other songs in this album. That outro seemed to be very, very important for Lady Gaga. This was Shadow of a Man by Lady Gaga. Let's try and find songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1 is about melodic phrases that answer each other. So it's a very, very good idea if you have got a very percussive and fast line, like those 16th lines in the pre-chorus, for example.
When I get this feeling, I can't get enough.
Right? With when I get this feeling as a quick one, and then I can't get enough with long lines, even more radical in the chorus.
I don't wanna fade into the darkness tonight. Show me the light.
It's always a good idea to answer this with a totally different thing, and you create contrast, for example, by contrasting really, really short rhythms with really, really long rhythms. Very good idea to do that. You should experiment with that, especially when writing chorus hooks. Songwriting learning number 2 is about the power of chromatic movement in your harmonies. So a 6 minor 5 2 4 progression can be very powerful if you use that moving bass line as a defining element, adding this third to that 2 chord. This is something really powerful, something familiar but still weird, right? It has got something majestic almost. And songwriting learning number 3 is about the bridge. Now, there is a type of bridge, I don't know, maybe we can call it the harmonizing bridge, or the slowly building harmony bridge, which is what they do here. If you've got a really cool and shortish line, like this, can ignore the voice within and a woman can't lose but you still pretend. It's a very, very good idea to experiment with vocal harmonies. You can even do that if you are the only singer in your band by using a looper for that section or by doing everything in the studio. So you basically take one melodic line, like it's a very good idea to keep this melodic line easy or simple to have an easier time harmonizing it, and then you basically stack thirds on top of this thing. And whenever something sounds crappy, use another note. Right, and that way you can successively and slowly build your bridge to the last orgasmic chorus. Now, this was my reaction and on-the-fly analysis of Shadow of a Man by Lady Gaga. If you liked this video, please make sure to leave me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel, to leave friendly comments and spread the love in those times of trouble, to take a look at the almost but not quite complete guide to songwriting available at spectreacademy.net. I guess we've talked song. You can talk about German Schlager legend Ralphie Dominguez now. Bye bye.